Oh, what the crap? Oh, jeez. Okay, time for potion number 1. It's a bad sign. Bad sign that I am tapping into an energy drink this early in the day. 5-hour energy. I'm saving the straight-up caffeine pills for later. Alright. Boy. Okay. That is super tangy. And it's probably covering up some nasty flavor. Yeah, oops, crap. I looked at the chat and I ran into a telephone pole. Let's be honest, I would have run into the telephone pole anyway. You gotta move, people. I'm sorry, lady, you gotta move. There's a car right here. I'm about to give some spoilers for Fallout 4 if you haven't played the game far enough to discover the fate of your infant son. One of the things that bothered me about this game is that you're going and looking for your infant son. A couple hours into gameplay, you stumble upon some people and they're like, hey, boy, do you think you could help us make some beds? And your character, who is now voiced, which is a big part of the problem in my mind, is like, sure, I'm happy to help. You know, I'm like, sure, you're happy to help. What the crap? Why are you not totally freaked out and delirious over the fact that your son has been kidnapped and you are living in a post-apocalyptic world? Why are you not totally freaking out and desperate to find your son and make sure that he is safe? Why are you stopping to make beds, you know? So in that regard, I just kind of wish that they wouldn't have even bothered trying to kind of like create that kind of motive and you know, to a lesser degree, you had the same problem in Fallout 3, but the fact that your protagonist is voiced this time, and so you actually hear his tone of voice saying, yeah, I am happy to help, is really weird, really weird. And so in my mind, I decided he just kind of lost it. And so I built this Fallout settlement with that in mind. I've just got some little affirmations in neon lighting of things that I want to keep in mind. Let's see. Hello, my dear. Oh, hi, Sean. Oh, I love you, Sean. Not Sean! Not my wife! Mwah! Love you. Why? I rub my ear. Which, actually, you guys probably haven't seen very much of, because usually when I'm making videos, I'm either talking in an animated fashion or have these headphones on. But something that I've done since I was a young'un is rub my ear. In fact, I've been rubbing, specifically I favor my left ear, and I haven't looked at any pictures from when I was younger to verify this, but I think that over time, rubbing my left ear has actually caused it to stand out a little bit more from my head than my right ear. If you look straight on, I don't know if you can see it, but I think this one stands out just a little bit more because all of my life, since as long as I can remember, I've been rubbing my left ear, sometimes with this hand, sometimes with this hand, and it's just something I do when I'm tired or when I'm thinking. My dad used to like twirl his hair. He would get a piece of hair and he would just kind of play with this. And I don't know what it is. It's not a nervous thing. I guess maybe, I don't know if I do it when I'm nervous. I don't think I do. It's more when I'm tired and just kind of thinking for a while. I like to rub it so that it gets nice and raw, so that there's like a kind of a hardened, crusty part. And then I like the way it kind of scratches against my thumb or my fingers. It feels nice. Okay, if you guys wouldn't shoot me, I would shoot you anyway. When Holly and I met, we were part of an organization called Continental Singers, and I'll let you Google that and discover what an interesting organization that was, which the organization is no more. It's since dissolved, but it had been in existence for decades. It was kind of like a choral group, but that would do dance choreography as well, and it was really, you know, cheesy, smiley kind of stuff. From my perspective, it was a ministry that was kind of out of touch. It saw itself as an evangelistic ministry, but stylistically it was doing things that were only going to appeal to people that were part of the church and had been a part of church culture for a long time. Now, granted, you can absolutely do evangelism. There are people that find themselves in church culture for many years that are actually not believers, but that doesn't change the fact that I think that they were just kind of out of touch, or there was some inconsistency with their stated purpose and their execution. Anyway, our tour was to Israel, but we teamed up with this other organization. I can't remember the name of it, but we were kind of meeting with them in Israel to do a combined concert. And we had to learn a bunch of music really quick that wasn't part of our normal tour material that we'd been doing up to that point. I was singing a solo that I really, that I was asked to sing, and this group came across to me as even more kind of like out of touch and superficial than the group that we were touring with. And, I was content to sing the song they asked me to sing, but it was not a song I liked. It was, I don't know the name of the song, but oh, how I love him, how I adore him, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. A great creator became my savior. Really super schmaltzy. And as usual, I was nervy before singing, and I was just in a phase of my life where I was trying to just give over that nerviness, where I'm still in that phase of life, always trying to give that over. I was really starting to, I was still in college at this point, so I developed my stage fright during college, and so this is when it was really coming out strongly now as I would perform, and so this was when I really started trying to give over my stage fright, my pre-performance nerviness and stuff. Before we went out, I just said, Lord Jesus, I don't know how you might choose to glorify yourself during this concert, but if the way that you want to glorify yourself is to make some problem happen, then I don't want just a glitch. I want to give you the freedom, as much as I can, to just tear the whole thing down around me. If that's the way you want to glorify yourself, then don't just do a little, bring it all down around me. And he kind of did, not physically, but when I got out there, the organization that we were touring with was using CD tracks, and oh my gosh, they were putting vocals in the CD accompaniment tracks. And so as we were coming in as a choral group, there was nobody on stage where the mics were at, and yet choral vocals were still coming through the monitors. And so it would have been obvious to anyone attending that there was canned vocals coming through. It was just so cheesy, so artificial. It couldn't have been more superficial. As we were up there, they had microphones on us, but it's like that we were at best half of what was in the mix as far as the vocals in the crowd. So I really didn't feel good about it. It felt kind of weird and deceitful and shallow, During the performance, before my solo, for the choral stuff, the CD track started skipping, and so the vocals were skipping along with it. And I was like, there you go. This organization is revealed as the shallow and superficial and potentially seen as deceitful group that it is. It's like, there it is for everyone in the audience to see. Yes, this is artificial. The vocals are skipping. You are listening to a canned choir. Oh my gosh. And so when I got out there for my solo, the CD started skipping a lot. To the point where, at first it wasn't just like da 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 da. It started that way, and I was trying to figure out how I could sing along with this, and I think I got 1.5 phrases in, and it started going da 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 da. It was skipping so rapidly that all they could do in the sound booth is turn the volume down, so it's going, and it faded out. And I just smiled, and I didn't even bow, I don't think. It was just kind of just a slight nod of my head, and then I went back to my place with the choir, and people were like, oh my gosh, that was one of the most awkward kind of performance situations I'd ever been in.